English Listening Lab.
Hi, I'm Emma from the English Listening Lab.
Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm learning small talk in English.
Great, Jack. And today we are going to talk about English words that confuse almost everyone. Even advanced learners sometimes get these wrong.
That's good, Jack, because I make these mistakes a lot.
Perfect. Then you are in the right place. Let's start slow and simple. Okay, Jack. First word is actually.
Oh, yes. I think it means at the moment, right? Like currently?
That's a very common mistake. Many learners think that, but actually does not mean currently.
Really? Then what does it mean?
It means in fact or to correct something. For example, if someone says, "You are from India," and you reply, "Actually, I'm from Pakistan," you are correcting them.
Ah, so I'm fixing the information.
Exactly. You are correcting a misunderstanding.
So I can't say I am actually busy now.
You can, but the meaning is different. In that sentence, it means, in fact, I am busy, maybe surprising someone.
So it is not about time, it is about correction or surprise.
Yes, perfect. Let's try a quick practice. If I say, "You are a doctor, but you are not," what do you say?
Actually, I am not a doctor.
Good, that is correct. Now let's move to another confusing pair, remember and remind.
Oh no, these two also confuse me a lot.
That's okay. Let's make it simple. Remember is when you keep something in your mind.
Like, I remember my birthday.
Yes, or you remember a place, a name, a password. But remind is when someone helps you remember.
So another person helps me.
Exactly.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. If I say, "Please remind me of the meeting at 5 p.m., I am asking you to help me remember.
Oh, so I am not remembering, I am helping you remember.
Yes.
So I can say I remember the meeting, but not I remind the meeting.
Correct. That second one is wrong. You should say, "I remember the meeting," or "I will remind you of the meeting."
This is actually very logical when you explain it.
Yes, English becomes easier when you see real situations. Let's practice quickly. Jack, I have a doctor appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. Can you help me?
Yes, I will remind you at 9 a.m.
Perfect.
And if I don't forget, I can say I remember your appointment.
Exactly.
I think I am starting to feel more confident with these words.
That's great. And listen, Jack, many learners think vocabulary is about memorizing lists, but actually it's about understanding situations.
Yes, I see that now.
Good. So, today we looked at 3 confusing areas. Actually, borrow versus lend, and remember versus remind. These are small words, but they change the meaning a lot.
Yes, and I used to think they were easy words.
That's the tricky part. The simple ones are often the most confusing.
I want to try using these in real life now.
That's the best way to learn. And if anyone listening is also practicing, try making one sentence with each pair. It really helps your brain remember the difference.
Maybe people can comment their sentences too.
Yes, that's a great idea. Write one sentence using actually correctly and see if you can use it to correct someone.
I will also try that.
Perfect. Now that we understand these basics, we can move into words that change meaning depending on the situation. And trust me, those will surprise you even more.
I am ready, I think.
Good. Let's continue.
All right, Jack. Now we are moving into something even more interesting. Some English words don't just have one meaning. Their meaning changes depending on the situation.
That sounds a bit dangerous for learners.
Yes, it can be confusing at first, but once you see real examples, it becomes clear. Let's start with the word break.
I know this one. It means, like, to destroy something?
Yes, that is one meaning. If you drop your phone, you break it.
Okay, that is simple.
But here's the tricky part. Break also means to rest.
Wait, what? Rest?
Yes, if you say, I need a break, it means you want to stop working and relax for a short time.
Oh, so same word, different meaning.
Exactly.
So in office, I can say, let's take a break?
Yes, that means pause work and relax, maybe have tea or coffee.
And if I say, I broke my laptop, that is bad.
Correct, that means damage. Let's imagine you are in an office. You are working for 2 hours and you feel tired. What do you say?
I need a break.
Perfect. Now imagine something falls from your hand. What happened?
It breaks.
Good. You see, same word, two completely different ideas.
This is confusing, but also interesting.
Yes, English is full of these surprises. Now let's move to another word, fine.
Oh, I know this. It means good, right? Like, I am fine.
Yes, that is one meaning. It means okay or good enough.
So if someone asks, how are you? I can say, I am fine.
Exactly. But here's where learners get confused. Fine can also mean a penalty.
A penalty? Like punishment?
Yes, for example, if you park your car in the wrong place, you may get a fine. That means you pay money as punishment.
Oh, so not I am good, but I must pay money.
Correct.
That is very different meaning.
Yes, so tone and situation are very important. Let's practice. If your friend says, "Are you okay?" what can you reply?
I am fine.
Good. And if a police officer stops you for wrong parking, what do you get?
A fine, like money penalty.
Perfect.
I think context is everything in English.
Exactly. Context is the key. Now let's look at another small but confusing word, still.
I use this sometimes, but I'm not sure I use it correctly.
That's okay. Still has two common meanings we will focus on today. First meaning, still means something is continuing.
Like ongoing?
Yes. For example, I am still working. That means I started working before and I continue now. Okay, I understand. Second meaning is about silence or no movement. Like quiet? Yes, if you say, please stay still, it means don't move.
Oh, like when doctor checks you.
Exactly. Doctors often say, stay still.
So one meaning is time and the other is movement.
Very good summary. Let's try a quick scenario. You are waiting for a bus for 20 minutes. It has not come yet. What do you say?
The bus is still not here.
Perfect. Now imagine a photographer is taking your picture. What do they say?
Stay still.
Correct.
This is actually fun when we use examples.
Yes, because your brain remembers stories better than rules.
I noticed something. These words are very simple, but they confuse me more than difficult words.
That is a very smart observation. Simple words are used everywhere, so they have more meanings in real life.
So I should not ignore simple words.
Exactly. They are actually the most important ones. Let's quickly review. Break can mean destroy or rest. Fine can mean okay or a penalty. Still can mean continuing or not moving.
Yes, I need to remember all these situations.
And the best way is practice, not memorizing lists.
I will try using them in my daily life.
Good idea. Even small sentences like I am still working help a lot.
I think I am starting to see English in a different way now.
That's the goal, not just translation, but understanding meaning in context. And now that you understand how words can change meaning depending on the situation, we are ready to go even deeper. Some words look easy, but even advanced learners get them wrong every day.
Okay, now I am a little nervous again.
Don't worry, you are doing great. Let's continue.
Jack, now we are at the final group of words. These are small, very common words, but they confuse even advanced learners.
That sounds scary, because I use them a lot.
Exactly. That's why we need to fix them carefully. Let's start with the word quite.
Oh, yes. I think it means very, right? Like quite good means very good?
That's a very common idea, but it is not always true.
Really?
Yes, in British English, quite can mean a little or moderately, not always very.
So it is weaker, not stronger?
Exactly.
This is confusing.
Let's make it simple. If I say the food is quite good, it can mean it is okay, not amazing.
Oh, so not wow good.
Right, but sometimes in other contexts it can sound stronger. That's why learners get confused.
So, how should I understand it in real life?
Always listen to tone and situation. For example, if someone says it's quite interesting, it may mean a little interesting, not very interesting.
I think I need more practice with this word.
Yes, and you will get used to it over time. Now let's move to one of the most powerful words in English, get.
Oh no, I use this every day, but I don't really understand it.
You are not alone. Get is one of the most flexible words in English. Get can mean receive. For example, I got a gift.
Okay, I received a gift.
Yes, it can also mean become. I get tired means I become tired.
Oh, like a change.
Exactly. It can also mean understand. I get it means I understand.
I say that a lot. Now I know what it means.
Good. And it can also mean arrive. I get home at 6 p.m.
So many meanings in one word.
Yes, that is why learners feel confused.
Can we do a quick practice?
Of course, if I say, do you understand this lesson, what do you say?
Yes, I get it.
Perfect. If you are very tired after work, what do you say?
I get tired after work.
Good. I think get is like a shortcut word for many meanings. Exactly. Very smart thinking. Now let's move to the final pair, used to and be used to.
Oh, I always mix these two.
Let's fix it once and for all. Used to means something you did in the past, but you don't do now.
Like a past habit.
Yes, for example, I used to play football. It means before I played football, but now I don't.
Okay, simple.
Now, be used to means something is familiar to you now.
Familiar, like I am comfortable with it?
Yes. For example, I am used to waking up early. That means it is normal for me now.
So one is past, one is present comfort.
Perfect. Let me try. I used to wake up early means I don't do it now. Correct. And I am used to waking up early means I still do it and it feels normal. Exactly right.
Let's do a quick real-life situation. Imagine you moved to a new country. At first, the food is strange. After a few months, it feels normal. What do you say?
I am used to this food now.
Perfect. And if you talk about your childhood habits, like playing outside every day, what do you say?
I used to play outside every day.
Excellent.
This actually clears a lot of confusion for me.
Good. That's the goal.
I noticed something today. Most confusion comes from small words, not big words.
That is a very important observation. Big words are easier because they are more specific. Small words are flexible, so they change meaning.
So I should focus more on daily words.
Exactly, because you will use them all the time in real conversations. Let's quickly review everything we learned today.
Okay, I'm listening.
Quite can mean slightly or very, depending on tone. Get can mean receive, become, understand, or arrive. Used to is past habit, and be used to is present familiarity.
That's a lot, but it makes sense now. I feel like my English brain is slowly improving.
That's exactly how it happens, little by little, not all at once.
I think I will start noticing these words in movies and conversations now.
That's the best practice. When you notice them in real life, they become part of you.
I also want to try using them in daily conversation.
Yes, and don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning.
I will remember that.
Good. And to everyone listening, try to make your own sentences with these words today. Even one sentence helps your memory. Notice how people use them in real conversations, too.
Yes, and maybe write them down or say them out loud.
Exactly. Speaking is the key. Jack, you did really well today.
Thank you, Emma. I feel much more confident now.
Great, and I hope everyone listening feels the same way too. English becomes easier when you stop fearing small words and start understanding them in context.
I agree. I used to be confused, but now I feel like I can handle it.
That's the spirit. Thank you for spending this time with us at English Listening Lab. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking a little every day. You are improving more than you think.